Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chuck Williams, Diamond Global Power Fit with the Shopping Sherlock, and the Shopping Sherlock is absolutely exploding around the world. If you need any proof of that, just check out the latest grand opening in Sweden. Packed out the place, and we have the best tool of anybody in the company helping you get leads for this, basically any other business, but this is the best business in the world. And with that, we've got Mike Mucci here. This fourth lesson, this fourth session, and I know I've probably said this every one, it's my favorite, but it is. This one brings it all together. By the time we finish tonight, you are going to be able to start implementing what you've been learning and start getting leads. So this is exciting. This is where the rubber meets the road. After tonight, you will be invited to be part of the alumni, the LinkedIn alumni. And with that, we have weekly training sessions where we will continually be teaching you how to take now these leads that you know how to get and turn them into productive, growing members of your Sherlock team. So with that, I want to introduce my good friend, absolutely a guru when it comes to marketing, Mr. Mike Mucci. Mike, over to you, buddy.
Thanks, Chuck. Great to be here tonight. And like I said, we're at lesson 4, and I've got a chance to really meet a lot of great people along the way. And every class and every individual I get to work with, it's a great learning experience for me. So thank you for being being all that you are, and we appreciate every single one of you. Welcome to lesson 4. And you're really going to enjoy this tonight because you've committed to making yourself something very special, providing a system for your Shopping Sherlock business and beyond, because this is transferable to any kind of business that you're in. So congratulations to you. Again, lesson 4, part 1, building high trust relationships. And that's going to come under, educating first and giving first, receiving later. And that's going to be very important as you understand how important it's going to be to build high trust relationships and kind of set yourself apart from everybody out there that's pitching. I see so many people start pitching. That's not what it's all about. You're gonna develop some real professional skill sets here, when you adopt the high trust relationships. We're going to touch on how to post projects. Some of you have asked a question. I wanted to go over it again, why it's important. And part 2 will be using recommendation requests to create those zero cost, qualified targeted leads that you own from your LinkedIn connections. So, welcome to lesson 4, Shopping Sherlock Entrepreneur CEOs. You're great people. Again, congratulations on taking action. We're headed into the home stretch of this training, doing these calls, but like Chuck said, we're going to be continuing that, and he's going to have a great announcement for you on that as we go forward, because in marketing is 2-pronged. You're going to find out. It's the lead generation and the lead conversion. And we're going to be with you all the way to teach you how to convert these leads that you create. Turn them into great partners in your Shopping Sherlock business. Special thanks to Chuck, one of the hardest working men in America. Let's have a round of applause for Chuck. He does a fantastic job. Diane does a fantastic job running the office, keeping me straight. So thank you to Diane as well. A couple of things. One is a new one. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. And I can't emphasize enough, when you started this class, what I really want you to think about is how do you create 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that you can dedicate to this LinkedIn training. You got to create a new habit. If you do, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at what happens. And for those of you who don't really understand what can happen, let me know. I'll put you in touch with Sherry Tabb and the Karen Parsons of the world, and there's a few others out there that are doing this religiously, and they're doing fantastic. You can too. Why not you? Why not you? Think about that. Again, Marketing 101. Keep this in mind and always remember this. The offer is only as good as the list. The offer is only good as the list. And that means your offer is only as good as the LinkedIn connections that you create. That's the list. And then you're going to refine it down even further. Okay, let's get started on lesson 4. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back here. Okay, best practices to build high-trust relationships with your LinkedIn connections to ensure a higher response as you introduce your recommendation request to them. So, you know, there's two strategies to consider here. One is this: when somebody connects with you, a simple thank you after the connection. You can send a reply back to them, or you can gather up all the people that you connect with during the week and send out a group message, whatever's easier for you. Here's an example of what you can send somebody. It can be, "Hi Tom," or, you know, dear LinkedIn colleagues, if you send out a group message. "Thank you for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I look forward to communicating with you and learning more about your business. If I can be of any assistance in introducing you to people in my network, please don't hesitate to let me know. Best regards," sign your name. So that'll be on the notes. That's one thing that you can do. Here is another strategy as we go to page 2. And we call this the giver's game. Give first, receive later. You can give away a free gift. And Chuck was able to put this together. It's something that he has done in the past, and it works very well for him. So what I mean by this is every time you make a connection, you could copy and paste this information. And I went over it to make sure that it's not too pitchy. You want to get to build a relationship first with the individual, then you get a chance to sell yourself. We aren't changing anything that the Shopping Sherlock teaches. We're only putting things in front of that. Everything else remains the same, so don't confuse the two, please. Dear Sue, thank you for thanks for connecting. Thanks for connecting via LinkedIn. Let me change that. More than just saying thanks, I want to offer you a complimentary gift. You can use this gift immediately or any time in the future if you want. You can pass it on to a friend if you think they'll benefit. Shopping Sherlock is an online shopping platform that provides a free and simple to use platform, and our philosophy is to give first before asking for anything. We call it earning the right. You may even want to join us in becoming an affiliate of this really cool organization. But before you ask for details, let us share this gift with you. And it goes on to say, the Shopping Sherlock helps people save money on online purchases that they would make anyway. Our product saves you time and money to price compare on your favorite products and services. Just recently, my friend Mike in Ohio was preparing to purchase a Panasonic plasma widescreen television. He knew the price he could receive from Best Buy, used the Shopping Sherlock to instantly check the price online, and found Crutchfield in Michigan had the very same model for $55 less. Mike took the quote to Best Buy and they matched the price. That's just one testimonial of several thousand folks who are saving money daily just checking prices before they whip out their wallets or credit cards. If you would like a free app, contact me via return in mail and I'll be glad to provide one for you and even provide you a quick demo on how to use the app for maximum results. It will become a great tool helping you save hundreds and even thousands of dollars in your valuable time too. Best regards and many thanks for connecting with me here on LinkedIn. That's an example of the giver's gain. Now, just recently, my friend Mike in Ohio, that can be your testimonial. You can plug in your own testimony or somebody else's as well. But it gives people, a real life feel for how things can work for them as well too. So that's an example of the giver's gain. And again, you can do this with every single person you connect with on LinkedIn. It will pay dividends. Chuck, is there anything you want to add regarding that?
Well, I don't want people to get confused. This is just a gift that you're giving out early in the process when people connect with you. You're not trying to pitch your business at this point. If you connect and they let you give them a free demo, obviously you now have a connection. But keep focused at this point on just giving them the product. We're going to teach you the recommendation request. That's where you're going to bring up the business. So, Mike, keep going. You're doing great.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. All right, bonus. How to post projects. And I wanted you to have this, in your library here as you go through and you're massaging and tweaking your profile. Keep this with your notes. Go to the profile, click on Edit Profile, right-hand column, recommended for you equals projects. You want to click on that, and that will take that category over into your profile, and follow the prompts. Include others who are working with you on specific projects to receive even more promotional value from their networks. And again, follow the prompts to complete, and you can add as many projects as you would like. You can even do a project within a project. For example, I'm promoting my Shopping Sherlock business in the New Mexico area, and then another project might be I'm going to to Chuck's event in May, and I'm Michael Weeder's going to be speaking there, and you might want to connect with Michael on LinkedIn. And you should try to connect with as many people in the Sherlock business as you possibly can as well. Okay? No harm in doing that. No harm in doing that. So anybody you're working on with a project, try to include them. And that'll even give you more widespread promotion of your profile as well too. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to move down to reviewing your magnetic profile, the progress. Some of you didn't realize this, but I wanted you to have this information as well. Your profile strength. When you edit your profile, automatically the profile strength circle, a little thermometer I call it, will pop up on the right-hand side. And it will tell you, what your profile strength is. And, we're tipping all-star right there, so you can add a couple of more things here or there, but if you get this close, you're doing really, really good. And that's what I'd like to see you all get. One more point. Ideally, you'll want to have 300 new like-minded targeted LinkedIn connections prior to implementing the tools we'll be providing here in Lesson 4. Any number below 300 we found, this is considered a real small sampling. So remember, long term, you'll want to have a goal of adding 25 to 40 new, plus connections each week. Have a goal that you do that. You'll never run out of new prospects if you do that. You'll never run out. And it's easy work. You sit at your computer. You can enjoy yourself. You're not in traffic. You're not stressed out. Make it fun. Make it fun that you're working on LinkedIn. And think about what you're going to get out of this as far as a business that's going to bring you passive and residual income. That's the great thing. That should be the motivator for you. Plus, think of all the people you're going to be able to help. All the people you're going to be able to help sharing that app and feel good about what you're doing in your business. Okay. There's a little assignment here. You can get back to it with me on those questions. That just helps me know where everybody is so I can get to help you along the way. Many of you I've told about Lisa Christensen's profile page. Keep that for your records. Check that out. She does a fabulous job of promoting herself and proves everything that she says. So use that as a template as well going forward. Okay. Sending recommendation requests, the big piece of this training. What I did here is I wanted to just demonstrate exactly what I did to generate, and help our company, our primary company, over $1 million in sales using LinkedIn. It was just little things just like this. Yes, I drove people to a video. However, the video was done with the thought of being part of a landing page to get more information. Shopping Sherlock doesn't quite have that same strategy in place right now, but we'll show you what's worked in the Shopping Sherlock piece that we've put together. But this is just to demonstrate to you what I've done in the past. I do exactly what I'm asking you to do. No different. I do exactly what I'm asking you to do. So, and there's nothing great about this. Again, it's just a LinkedIn platform. So, what is the objective of the recommendation request? Boy, it's important that you really know what this is. It's to put you in a position to showcase set, enabling you to reach out with permission. We got permission to connect with people through the groups, to screen and qualified candidates you want to do business with. You've screened and qualified them. You've kind of looked at their profiles. You know they're like-minded. You found them in groups that you like. They may be in a certain area of the country or out of the country that you want to work with. But they're in your farm, and they're kind of screened and qualified. So keep that in mind. Also, the other important part of this is know that you want to have qualified prospects raise their hands and ask you for more details. That is a proactive strategy. Not a reactive, it's proactive. You're not, when we started this class, there was a gentleman I talked to in Kentucky. He was beyond his years of his retirement. He was going door to door to ask people to be in the Shopping Sherlock. He elected not to take this training. That's what I call old-fashioned grunt work. You can't keep that up. You won't last doing that. So you're using a system here, and that system is to get qualified prospects to raise their hands. In addition to that, point number 3 here is this. It's going to allow you to posture and move forward to the preliminary interview step and beyond. And what beyond means is showing your video, getting a three-way call going with your upline person, your leader, and bringing this distributor into the business and having a competitive edge. Being that you have a system that's going to help them just like it's helping you. And remember, duplicate and scale. Very, very important. Sustain and prosper. Sustain and prosper with your distributors is your bridge to passive and residual income and keeping it consistent and growing, not eroding. So it all kind of all works together. How does the recommendation request strategy work best, and what should you expect? Now, after I explain this, I'm going to have Chuck give you just a little bit of an overview of how it's worked for him, because I want to show you the steps in the back office, and he can tell you a little bit about that while I'm prepping that for you on another screen. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to schedule a campaign to send your recommendation requests every 10 to 12 business days. And really, you'd like to have a minimum of 300 qualified targeted connections. And again, note, this is a small sampling, but you got to start somewhere. So if your first campaign is 300, your next campaign might be, what, closer to 400. And you just keep building on it. And yes, you go back to connection number 1 and you include them in every campaign. It doesn't hurt a thing if they see your message 6 or 7 times. If somebody asks you not to send them anymore, fine. But it takes people sometimes 6 or 7 times to see what you have before they're going to respond. And that's a fact. Long term, your commitment will continue to add new connections weekly. That's how you're going to build on this. That's how you're going to keep it fresh. Know that 60% of all positive responses come after the 5th contact. Be patient. Be dedicated and consistent with your approach. Now, what I wanted to do here is I'm going to queue up my LinkedIn back office so I can show you how this actually happens. Okay? Chuck, why don't you touch on how you schedule your campaigns and how you do things, and maybe you can provide some additional insight as well.
Well, Diane, my wife, and I work together, and Diane actually sends out our campaigns. Mike, I'm going to mute you for just a minute. We were getting some feedback from your microphone there. And so she sends them out every couple weeks to our entire group. Now, we've gone way past 300 connections. We're getting close to 3,000 connections. So as you continue to build it, your list compounds. As those recommendation requests go out, every time she does a campaign, I get several people that raise their hand and say, I'm interested in learning more. That's what this training was designed to do, was get you to the point where you got a lead. Now, at that point, we have discovered that there's an additional segment of training that's necessary, and that's what to do with a lead. And so one of the things we want to teach you is when that person raises their hand and says, I'm interested, what to do. And I'm not going to go into all that tonight because tonight is still the wrap-up of the LinkedIn lead generation training. But on the alumni calls starting tomorrow, we're going to be teaching specifically and role-playing what to do once you get the lead. So it's like somebody teach you how to fish, which is what we've done. We've taught you how to fish for leads. Now you're getting the leads. How do you get them into the boat, into the net, in your boat? How do you do that? Well, it starts with posture. We talked about the posture before. You don't want to give the person any information until after you have done the preliminary interview. And so the preliminary interview is the key. We talked about this last week. It's the key. So you got the person that's interested. Now you're going to set up the preliminary interview. And you treat it like a business. You set an appointment. You schedule that preliminary interview. And you have posture. If that person doesn't play ball with you, they're not a prospect. You're wasting your time. So keep control, maintain posture, and set up that preliminary interview. Walk them through the 3 questions. And then you transition into sharing the incredible Shopping Sherlock product and opportunity with them. So Mike, we'll go in more of that on our alumni calls, but that's exactly what you do with those leads, is you treat them like gold. You don't just send them information. You don't send them a link. You don't send them a video. You literally get that preliminary interview. Then you watch the videos with them just as we teach. So Mike, back to you, and I'll fill in more later if you want.
Thanks, Chuck. Very good. And again, what we've done here is I'm going to show you how to maneuver into the back office to actually send out a recommendation request here. All the steps are right here, and you'll find them 1 through actually 15. It's not that difficult. In a time frame of 35 to 45 minutes, you can easily send out 400 to 500. Or consider using Sherry Tabb's method. She sends about 50 requests out a day, and she tracks who she sends to, and she just continues every day. She sends something out. That may be a better way to do it as well, because you create a daily habit. Sherry's very successful, so you may want to consider her style, her way of doing things as well. Before I go to the back office, I did want to show you what a Shopping Sherlock lead generation magnet kind of looks like. And here, I'll read it to you so you can have an idea of what we're doing here. We call it a recommendation request. And in the subject line, you would put up to $1,500 weekly, make money, empowering others to save money, combating spiraling consumer good prices. Okay? Dear LinkedIn colleague, appreciate and value your connection here on LinkedIn. Would appreciate any assistance you might be able to provide from within your business circle. Do you know a savvy, successful business professional in the Denver area seeking a career change, if that's where you're sending this out to? You don't have to put the city in there. You could just say, do you know a savvy, successful business professional seeking a career change? Up to $1,500 weekly, distributing complimentary software for PCs, Macs, and mobile devices. How did we come up with $1,500 weekly? What Chuck does in his group, Chuck has been highly successful. He allows his people, because he's going to be doing a 3-way call, to make the effort of finding new distributors in his team basically a team effort. So we use Chuck's credibility. We use Chuck's earnings, so we can always prove what we say. Okay? Currently, I'm seeking a savvy business professional in the Denver area or for the position below. If you can provide a referral or recommendation of a prospective sales professional for our preliminary interview process and online product demonstration, you know who might be a good fit, it would be appreciated. We only consider professionals with solid work ethics for these home and small office positions who are ambitious, coachable, and able to demonstrate success in their present and past career activities, who are entrepreneurial in spirit, match up to our core values, and are seriously committed to establishing an income in excess of 6 figures, and those willing to dedicate the time the first 2 to 3 years to get there. So we're really painting a picture of the kind of person we want here. Our product empowers consumers to exceed the ease and reliability of Consumer Reports, Google, Kayak, and Priceline, to save on average $200 monthly on purchases households already are making from their monthly budgets, ensuring more personal savings, avoid common spending mistakes, allowing them to make better spending decisions. Hundreds of real savings testimonials have been earned. To provide a recommendation or a consideration for an interview and product demonstration, contact me via LinkedIn mail or globalchuck@gmail.com. Thank you in advance for any assistance. Best regards. Now, what's LinkedIn about? Endorsements and recommendations. So we tailor this to, we're not soliciting, we're asking for help from our connections. Can they recommend somebody? And sometimes those that raise their hand, they do have somebody they want to recommend. Other times they say, I might be interested in that. Same result, we're getting people to raise their hand. So that's how we do this. Now I really want to take you through the back office to show you this. Don't be concerned tonight that you don't get all this. We got the Q&A on Thursday. We're going to go over it again, but I just want to take you through real quick how this works in the back office. Chuck, let me know when my LinkedIn
it's up, Mike.
page comes up.
Yep, it's up.
Thank you. Okay, I simply go into Network right here under my contacts. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to show you one of them tonight, okay? What I'm going to do here is this. Sort by recent conversation. I'm going to click on the last name. All of this is in the steps on the notes you're going to get tomorrow. You don't have to take notes. And then you can also filter by alphabetically the last names. So if everybody that was last name started with D, simply click on D, here they come. This might be a great way for you to do this. Okay? Or I can go over here and search, and I can put in, Kansas City. And I would hit search, and then LinkedIn will find all my connections in Kansas City, or they could find all my connections in South Africa, whatever I want my campaign to be. My suggestion when you first get started, just do the alphabet until you build up greater numbers. So you would simply go, you would put in A. And because I have 3,000 connections, I probably have more than 50 people in here, because that's all I can send out at a time is 50 recommendations requests at one time. That's all the LinkedIn email client will hold, but I can send 50 at a time out and just keep sending 50. So I'd have to mark off at the end of my my alphabet here, wherever I am, how many are in that group. So there's a little bit of manual to it, but let me just show you here what happens. When I go here and I start checking these boxes, I would build a list of 50 people for my LinkedIn connections. I'm going to stop at 3 just to show you here so we can get through this. Then I would come over here to message. I would click on message. And once you get to this page, this looks just like an email that you would send on Yahoo, Gmail, in Constant Contact, whatever it may be. Always, 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 always uncheck that box right there. See this box right here? Allow recipients to see others' names and addresses. Always uncheck that. And then it won't look like a mass email. So, click on Send Me a Copy, so I have one for my records. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to send this mail piece to Chuck only. So I would put Chuck Williams in here. See if I can find him here. Chuck Williams, right there. I'm going to send it to him. And then what I would do is I would simply copy and paste my recommendation request. And it's going to go to 50 people. I'm going to copy, I'm going to put this subject line in here. Recommendation request, there it is. And because I'm sending to 50 or more, I'm just going to put in there, dear LinkedIn colleague. Okay? I'm going to change LinkedIn so it looks right. And what I would do here is, I got to take this out. Of course, I would put in, I've got page 6 in here. We don't want that to go. That's part of the training manual. And I would just simply space this up here, make it look professional. All right, and I would fill this in here. I would put, because I'm going to do it in St. Louis, I would have St. Louis here to make it customized. And down here, I would put St. Louis in tip as well. And I would come down here, sign my name, and I'm going to send my first recommendation request to my first 50 LinkedIn connections.
Mike, change your email also, buddy.
Up here?
No, down the bottom. I just don't want people to accidentally send my email address out there.
No, I'm only sending it to you, Chuck.
I know, but I just wanted them to know that that email address.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
They want to put their own there.
So I would put my own right here.
You got it. Thanks.
Yes, you would want to change this right here. Okay, so I would have everything. I double check it, make sure that it looks good, and I would send my message. There goes my first message right there to 50 people. And I get a copy over here that shows, it'll come back to me over here that I sent a copy. So you have that for your records. And then what I would do is I simply would start over again. I'd go to my contacts, and I'd know where I left off. I'd go to my next 50. That's how you send this out. And then, on average, I would say every 300 you send, Chuck, how many people do you think get back to you? I mean, I got a number in my mind, what usually happens for me, but I'd like to hear from you too, what you've experienced.
Yeah, for me, it's been about a 2% response rate. So out of 300, I'll get about 6 people that respond that want more information.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I'm very pleased with that.
And Chuck, you know, if you had 24 people a month responding to you, how many of those do you think you could turn into really good distributors?
Typically, yeah, easily. You know, usually it's about 20% will come all the way through the funnel and become a new distributor.
That's a great system right there.
It is.
So we know what's happening right there. We know what's happening. But it really comes down to, Chuck, you know, the blocking and tackling every day of getting more connections. And what's great about this is you're going to get really good at this because it's that riding the bicycle analogy. You know, you had to stand the bike up, put the kickstand up, get on the seat, put your hands on the handlebars, put your feet on the pedals, steady yourself, get started, and figure out how to ride it and balance yourself. Pretty hard the first time you did it. I know myself, when I first rode a bike, it was a little 20-inch red bike, and I could ride it really good, but I didn't know how to get off it. I had to crash it to get off it. Well, that didn't last forever. I soon could ride a bike. So, same thing here. You're learning a system. Be patient with yourself, but just know that it's going to provide the results for you if you do it. So, that's all I have for tonight, Chuck. I know I went over it, but we've got the advantage here of coming back on Thursday night. We're going to go over it again. Next week, we're going to be on it for Wednesday. They're going to have the notes tomorrow. So bring your questions on Thursday night, and we'll demo this even further. So that's all I have for tonight, Chuck.